Most people track their finances in 3 different places. One for their budget, one for their net worth, and one for their cash flow. But that split costs you more than just time, it costs you money. Because when your budget, cash flow, and net worth live in silos, you miss the full picture. That's why we built the Money Map, a single Google Sheet financial dashboard that combines all 3 tools. Let's face it, managing personal finances often feels like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle. If you've got multiple accounts, assets, or income streams, you know the drill. Updating balances, categorizing expenses, reconciling debt. It's a full-time job every month. And the more complex your finances get, the more time it takes. But when your money is scattered across tools and spreadsheets, you miss patterns, insights, and opportunities. Having your finances under control isn't just helpful, it's absolutely crucial for smart decision-making and building your financial independence. Today, I'll introduce you to a tool that will revolutionize the way you see your money. Let's call it your Money Map. This Google Sheets dashboard will give you a clear picture of your finances, showing where your money comes from, where it goes, and how your cash flow affects your net worth. The built-in budget feature will help you to stay on course. No more messy budget spreadsheets, no more manual reconciliation, just clear, actionable financial insights. So what really sets the Money Map apart? Unlike other budget templates and budget management tools you've seen on YouTube, this Google Sheets wealth tracker merges simplicity with flexibility. See, I am an investment manager, and in my responsibility, I've built complex models for clients making million-dollar decisions. I know firsthand that real results require tools that are both easy to navigate and flexible enough to grow with you. What do I mean by simplicity? The Money Map is incredibly easy to use, whether you are budgeting for beginners or you are an experienced planner, but it allows for customization as well. What do I mean by flexibility? Conventional templates will give you one layer of categorization: food, rent, going out, and so on. Over time, however, as more expenses come in, the number of categorizations will increase. This is why the Money Map introduces a 3-tier categorization system. Begin with predefined primary categories like income or essential expenses. Then drill down to custom categories and subcategories of income, expenses, or balances that you can adjust to your needs. Every income, expense, or balance type you define rolls up cleanly into one of the core categories. For example, your lifestyle expenses might break down into fun and social, which can drill further into vacations, going out, or fairs and expositions. This system ensures you can always zoom out to see overall cash flow and zoom in to pinpoint exactly where your money went. It's very affordable too. I tested all available Google Sheets net worth trackers out there, and this is the only net worth tracker you'll ever need on your way to financial independence. Getting started with your Money Map is straightforward. First, acquaint yourself with the control panel. Here, you'll encounter essentials like abbreviations, a brief README guide, and your master tables. In these master tables, you'll meet the 10 standard categories for cash flows we talked about before. They are fixed because they're the highest level of consolidation, from core income to essential expenses to growth investments. Right next to them, you'll also find 8 standard asset categories and 8 standard debt categories. These are your highest level buckets, broad enough to catch every account you'll ever track and fixed by design so your totals are always comparable. The table also explains what each category means, so mapping is effortless. Imagine each of these categories as the top of pine trees, sheltering a set of related transactions or balances that can be customized. For example, lifestyle expenses in the transactions table can include social and fun, care and cosmetics, and sports and dancing. Social and fun can then split further into things like vacations, going out, or fairs and expositions. An example for the balance categories would be bearer shares, mutual funds, and company stock plans that can be mapped to equity. The category equity, in turn, can roll up to the main category, investments. These subcategories and categories that you can create at will can be defined and mapped in the income and expenses mapping table for transactions and in the assets and debts mapping table for balances. Use a separate row for each of them and link them to a parent category. Before moving on, set your main currency. If you track accounts in different currencies, you can translate them back to your main currency by defining an average FX rate for each currency and each single period you're tracking. This is important. Skip this step and balances in undefined currencies or months will show as zero. Please note that this FX feature is currently only available for your balances. Transactions always need to be logged directly in your main currency. Lastly, there is one golden rule across the tool. Only type in light yellow cells. Everything else calculates automatically. Welcome to the input sheet, the engine room of your money map. This is where you'll log every cash inflow and outflow, asset and debt. To log your transactions, you only need to specify three essentials: the transaction date, the transaction amount, and the subcategory. The subcategory is pulling directly from the I&E mapping table you set up earlier. All other categories fill in automatically based on your mapping. Use the notes column to remember more details of your transaction. Bear in mind that all numbers need to be entered as positive figures. To log your balances, enter four essentials: the balance date, the amount, the currency, and the subcategory. Same as for transactions, you can select your subcategory from a drop-down, which pulls from your A and D mapping table. The higher level categories will update automatically. For further granularity, add optional details like the asset's name, identifiers, platform, sector, country, and native currency. Each of those details will help you later in detailed analysis. The input sheet is also the place to set your budget. Both transactions and balances can be planned on the subcategory level. For each subcategory you plan, enter the year, month number, and your planned amount. With one glance at the summary table, you can instantly assess the validity of your budget. Adjust the month you're planning, say year 2024, month 10 for October, and instantly compare actuals versus plan at the highest category level. This step should help you to assess how realistic your current budget is. For example, if your actual transactions are already higher than your budget, you'll know it's time to adjust and bring your budget back in line. You've entered your transactions and balances. Great. Now head to the Overview Annual tab. Think of this as your financial dashboard in your ultimate budget planner, where scattered data turns into a clear story. This is where you'll get all your questions answered. What is my net worth today? What are my largest cost buckets? How did they change over time? Start by selecting the year you want to analyze, usually your current year. If your most recent entries are from 2024, set 2024 as the last year. You can also roll it back to any earlier year. The first thing you'll see is your yearly snapshot with the sum of all cash flows, your bottom line for the year. That cash flow is then organized into its contributors' gross income, total expenses, capital management, and total contributions. Each of these is then broken down into the main categories. You'll also see your total assets and total debts grouped into 10 standard balance types, the same structure you've seen before. What makes these snapshots so powerful is the side-by-side comparison of your actual spending versus your planned budgeted amounts. It's like having a GPS for your finances. You can quickly see whether you're on course or heading off track. Beyond the yearly snapshot, this tab gives you a 12-year sweep of your financial history, so you can spot trends and catch outliers. First, on a high level, the tool builds a 12-year window, your chosen year plus the previous 11. You'll see a bar chart comparing actuals and budgets, plus an all-in chart that stacks your actual cash flows together. Then, as a complete cash flow statement for all your actual transactions, drill down to your main categories. It mirrors the yearly snapshot, but stretches across time, broken down into the same 10 transaction types. For example, you'll see if that jump in total expenses came from essential costs like housing and utilities, or lifestyle choices like dining out and vacations. Finally, you'll get a summary for your budgeted figures, displayed in exactly the same format as your actuals. On the right, the variance columns spotlight where actuals diverged from plan, by contributor and by category, so you can target exactly what to fix. Curious how each part of your wealth has evolved? Scroll to the balance sheet section, which is structured very similarly to the cash flow section. Here, every contributor, assets, and debts appear in a timeline so you can track progress year by year. Below that, a combined chart plots assets and debts together for all actual years. This is where patterns pop. Steady mortgage paydown, a dip from a market correction, or a rise from asset appreciation. Keep scrolling to your full balance sheet. This continuity makes it easy to trace how each bucket influenced your net worth and your path to financial independence. Finally, you'll see your budget table. Quick comparisons actuals to budget on the right help you spot not just where you're winning, but where money is quietly leaking away, so you can plug those gaps and boost your bottom line. If you want to know exactly what's moving the needle in your net worth or what drives your cash flow, the Money Map offers powerful drill-down features. Let's start with the actual transaction table, which takes all your subcategories and sorts them from the largest to the smallest. Imagine looking at your spending and instantly spotting your biggest expense categories, like rent or groceries, right at the top. This is invaluable if you want to see where the bulk of your money goes. The same drill down exists for the actual balance table. Maybe you'll notice your bearer stocks category is the biggest single asset class you are invested in. Now, flip over to the drill down section. Here, you can pick any main category, say essential expenses, and you'll see every category you mapped to it, charted across a full 12-year timeline. This split helps you spot trends and proportions of your expense categories. Want even more precision? Use the category to subcategory drill down. Choose a category like fees, and you'll see the exact subcategories underneath and how each one evolves over time. The same drill down features exist for your balances. Pick any standard category, say investments, and you'll see every category mapped under it with a 12-year history. You can also slice each standard category by countries, sectors, and currencies. Perfect for equity investors. Just make sure you've mapped these fields in the input sheet. If you prefer frequent check-ins, the Overview Monthly tab has you covered. The Overview Monthly tab is structured in the exact same way as the Annual Overview tab. Just instead of a 12 years time frame, this tab will show your 12 months development. Start by selecting the year and the month you want to review. Instantly, you'll see a detailed breakdown of what contributed most to your financial outcome. You'll also see a clean snapshot of your net worth at the end of that month, broken down into the standard categories. Just as with the annual view, you can compare your actual cash flows and balances to your budget. All your totals, as well as their main categories, can now be tracked on the timeline that includes all 12 months of your specified year, letting you spot trends, seasonal spikes, or unexpected dips. Just like in the annual overview, you get both versions of reality. First, your actual cash flow statement showing what really happened. Second, your budgeted cash flow statement, meaning what you planned, in the same format. The same holds true for your accounts. And if you want to go deeper, the familiar drill-down tables let you explore specific categories and subcategories in granular detail. All cash flows come together in the I&E details sheet. Here, you'll find 4 pivot tables, 2 that cover the full 12-year period and another 2 that zoom into your month-by-month view. 2 pivots are dedicated to actual balances and 2 pivots display your budget. You might be wondering, why another summary? Well, previously you were looking at a cash flow or balance sheet statement that could be drilled down to the standard category level. This was perfect for high-level analysis of your finances and comparing bottom-line actuals to bottom-line budgets. These 4 pivots, however, unite every category and category level and their associated numbers, all in a single view. This all-in-one snapshot makes it effortless to drill down to any level of details, spot where your money goes, compare trends, or catch hidden fluctuations. Welcome to the final sheet, A and D details. Here is where you'll find the next set of pivot tables. Since it follows the same structure as the income and expense details table, but focuses on your accounts, assets, and debts, it's intuitive to use. So I'll skip the detailed explanation. All right. So what's the main takeaway here? The money map isn't just another template. It's a tool that excels in simplicity, flexibility, and structure, tailored to your personal financial story. In this Google Sheets budget planner tutorial, we talked about its 3-tier categorization system, which allows to switch from a big picture view to a more detailed drill down. It gives you only the charts and data you really need and helps you zooming in on the progress you are making. And it's the flagship of a collection of smart tools we offer. Click the link in the description to gain access to our tool platform. The Money Map combines all other tools covered in the following. However, if you still want to keep cash flows, net worth, and budget separately, we've got you covered too. Prefer a tool focused on tracking your incomes, expenses, new investments, and debt repayments? Explore our Cashflow Navigator editions. If you want to zoom in on what you own and what you owe, the Net Worth Navigator is your lens for assets and debts. For each both cash flow and net worth sides, we offer a simple and a pro version. The simple versions are simply trackers. Enter your transactions or balances and analyze. The Pro versions gives you all functionalities of the simple version, plus the ability to plan your budget. And the price? Very affordable. The Money Map as the most advanced tool costs less than $10. A tiny one-time cost compared to the hours it saves and the clarity it brings over your finances. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the bio and grab the tool of your choice. For any questions or feature suggestions, please use the comment section of this video. We read every suggestion and truly make improvements based on your feedback. If you got value from this video, hit like and subscribe, or dislike if it missed the mark. Your honest feedback inspires me. As always, your support means the world to me. See you in the next one.